The forgotten majority. Teens walk along pavements, winding their way along, not looking from their mobile devices, too engrossed to prolong their conversations in the real world, or continue on at school. Training and employment aren't considered, leaving teens as neat haul, live a life of unease without a goal of moving upwards to a life of higher class. But is it really their fault? Up to them to surpass, break the expectations of society and begin the assault, make the jump upwards, onwards, to notoriety away from the bars? Surely not. No. Now it's time to look to the future and remake responsibility ours. Why should teens be responsible for climbing the social ladder? They have no say in where they're born or who their parents are. So why do we keep blaming them, making them objects of scorn? Teens need investment of effort, money and time. They lack the skills for work and need a reassessment. They need a helping hand, not for us to go berserk. Teens need someone to push them along, someone who may just take the chance and help them to belong, someone to encourage them to develop communication. We need that bridge, that link, that stem, to help our teens and employers to identify some relation and bring us all back from the brink of social isolation, a lack of aspiration. We need some help and we need it now. But who will make the vow to make that change, that leap, that jump, be that essential plough to drive us onwards and upwards, breaking down the social barriers, remove the uptown unfairness that will allow our teens to become successful and not to be defined by where they are born, their circumstance, their lack of adorn. But the government doesn't seem to care about our teens and unemployed, the overlooked, the underskilled, the ones who've been left behind. And so there is a gap, one that we must rebuild. But who will take responsibility for helping out our teens? Who will be there as they grow? Who will see the viability of making our nation great again and developing a society that allows our teens and children to develop and then reach their goals, their aspirations, time and time again? We need to work together now to share our ideas and fortunes. We must aim for fairness, which will allow us all to share our know-how. Currently, the aspirations of many are disabled by a lack of care, a lack of social cohesion, and education just not there. Vocational courses are underfunded, academic routes need revision, leaving practical teens in disrepair. With no qualifications or goals for the future, they have no vision, they face a wall, a life alone, a life without. But in our massive concrete sprawl, surely we have the power to enable our teens to grow, not fall by the wayside. So we just need to take a step, one big stride, a change to be agreed, for students to teach and courses to develop, share our ideas and reach out to others. We must embrace the differences between us, forget the thoughts of yesteryear, those which we must replace. We must learn to mix across the classes, find our shared passions and remove the fear, because it is only then, when education, communication and friendship become the norm, the fashion, that we will help our teens to climb the social ladder and reach their chosen occupations. The time has come, we must expand to ensure that schooling, which seems so linear in its teaching, develops again and enables teens to dream. Now is the time to make the change, for us all to agree that now is the time for things to alter, for social mobility. But we must work together to allow our teens to become the people they want to be. We must ensure that greatness is not defined by circumstance but by talent. We need to push them to be their best, to rise above their class, their history. We must aid them to be great, to be free of misery. It is only then that they will be able to escape their fate and rise above the story of their past, because the cream may rise and the challenge is tough, but that doesn't mean we have to watch a cast.